Compass has done a pretty good job of burning through a lot of the cash that they have had. So $150 million in cash for this deal would certainly put a dent in that. Still yet unable to make a profit. This deal does include a $50 million collar, which actually protects shareholders depending on the price of Compass stock a year after the closing. And that's another question mark for Compass, is the value of their stock price. So we'll continue to see if this deal is approved, what it means to the real estate industry landscape as a whole, and we'll continue to watch out for reporting on stories that involve mergers and acquisitions, as we anticipate more of those coming as things continue to stay tight for a lot of real estate brokerages. For years, Americans have been moving to the Sun Belt, from Chicago to Arizona and Texas, from New York to Florida. In the last 2 years, especially in 2024, they've stopped moving, or at least in the numbers that they were. Inventory has built dramatically in the South, many parts of the South, and at the same time, the number of unsold homes available in the Midwest and Northeast are still very tight. So again, there's a little more detail on these migration patterns slowing and causing there to be the tale of two markets. Nationally, though, inventory is up. There were 707,000 single-family homes on the market heading into Thanksgiving weekend. That's roughly 27% more unsold homes on the market than last year at this time. I want you to hear that number. 27% more unsold homes on the market than last year at this time. That's how much inventory is up. They're saying that the consumer, the lawsuit was brought on behalf of, is not going to receive enough compensation. Well, that could be because the lawyers got 30% or more right off the top. Could be because it's spread out over so many home sellers that it's a marginal or very small amount when you actually break down the numbers. And their other concern is that the settlement doesn't actually change some of the core practices or the way that the consumer experiences those practices in the industry. And we've shared a couple stories on this podcast that would indicate that that might actually be true, that some of the fundamental ways that things were being done have not changed dramatically. Could it be that they haven't changed dramatically because they're actually quite efficient? They're well understood by the consumer and the professional, and it's a great way to do business. So we're having to navigate around a new settlement that doesn't actually change the fundamentals. It just changes some of the details around how the industry goes about them. That's the argument, whether that's true or not.